Hello friends, welcome back to automationtestinginsider.com. This is Selenium WebDriver Part70, and today we are going to talk about Git and GitHub. So basically we'll see the integration of Git and GitHub with Selenium. So let's have a look at the agenda for today. So this is the agenda. So we'll talk about what you mean by CM, that is configuration management, and we'll discuss what is SCM tool. SCM stands for source code management. And why do we need SCM tools, and what are the different advantages of having SCM tools? So we'll discuss about them. And since this video belongs to Git and GitHub, so we'll talk about Git and GitHub in detail. I'll show you basic architecture of Git and GitHub, and what are the different steps which we need to work on with Git and GitHub. So we'll discuss about that, and how to install Git. So I'll show you that one on your system, and at last I'll show you what are the different commands using command line. What are the different commands we can use with Git and GitHub, and I'll create a repository in GitHub, and I'll push the fresh code in GitHub. I'll show you that, and we'll do some kind of exercise over there. So today we'll use some different commands, Git and GitHub using command line, and in the next video I'll show you how you can work with Eclipse, how you can work with Git and GitHub using Eclipse. Okay, so the integration with Eclipse I'll show you in the next video. So let's get it started. So what is CM, and what are different SCM tools we have? So CM stands for configuration management. So this is a process area in CM level, and SCM comes under this one, this CM process. Okay, so SCM is nothing but the source code management. Okay, so configuration management is managing the configuration of all the projects, key products and assets. So it will manage your project documents or source code or different assets. SCM stands for source code management, and that is an integral part of project in the IT world, and this is an important component in DevOps culture. Source code management or version control system in any project ensures all the members of team stay on top of the source code changes. So whenever we make the changes, we should be on sync. Okay, and we can easily communicate with each others. So this is the one of the benefits of source code management, and we can easily merge our codes. SCM practices include revision control. So it will manage your history and establishment of baselines. So what do you mean by establishment of baselines? So whenever you have approved version of your documents or your source code, let's say you are working on the automation project, and you have written source code for any particular page, and the code review has been done. So now you can easily push your code to version control system, because that everything, the approval and everything part has been done, and later on you can pull the latest change, and you can make some other changes, and you can easily push that code into your repository. Okay, your version control system. So this will the best practice is it includes revision control and establishment of baselines. And what are the different SCM tools we have in the market? So these are the different version control system we have. So we have Microsoft TFS, that is Team Foundation Server. We have Calithia, that is an open source. We have GitLab. We have Bitbucket Server. We have Subversion, that is also called SVN, and of course we have Git and GitHub. So these are some different SCM tools we have in the market. The question comes like, why do we need version control system? Okay, why we are using version control system? So the most important point is collaboration. Okay, so let's say you are working in a team where you have 5 or 6 team members, and suppose you want to share something with other team members. So how do you do that? Okay, let's say you have written some code, and you want to share your you want to merge code with other guy. You are working on a same page, and half part you have written, and the other team member has written the half part. So how you know how you share the code with other team members? So either if you are not using version control systems, then how do you do that? Either you have to send the code through email or by external drive, let's say like pen drive or any other external medium. Okay, so this is how you can share your code with other team members. So but there would be a lot of uh, kind of errors will be there, or it would be very difficult to merge the code, and it will be time consuming. Okay, so without SCM in place, you are probably working together in a shared folder or same set of files. Okay, so it is extremely error prone. Someone will overwrite someone else changes. So this is the drawback of if you're not using version control. So with a SCM, everybody on the team is able to work absolutely freely on any file at a time. So when we use version control system, so it would be very easy because we have a central repository system. There we can push and pull the latest changes. Okay, whenever we want, we can push our changes and we can get the latest code as well. So that is the benefit of version control system, and anytime we can merge our code as well, so that is also a benefit. So it would be very easy to work with version control system to just, I mean, to manage your history, and you can easily work with your teams. And another benefit is storing versions. So whenever you make the changes, it will track your changes, okay, in terms of change id or versions. Okay, so that's how you can store your versions as well. And restoring previous version, so suppose you want to work, you want to uh, get the code from your previous version, so that's how you, I mean, that you can do it in version control system. You can easily store your previous version. So I'll show you like how you can how it store the versions and how you can restore your previous version. I'll show you when we work with Git and GitHub using command line today. Okay, and understanding what happened. So whenever you make the changes, you should understand like what the changes you made. Okay, so every time you save a new version of your project, your SCM requires you to provide a short description, or you can say any comment of what was changed. This helps you to understand how your project evolved between versions. So every time when you make the changes, when you make the change, and that time you have to provide, you can provide some comments or description like what changes you are going to make. Okay, so that's how you can track the changes as well, like what is which version is changed for what. Okay, and of course this works as backup. So let's say if any of your team members hard drive is crashed, so easily he can get the code from any other team member or from central repository. So this works, the version control works as backup as well. Now let's talk about Git and GitHub. So many people assume that Git and GitHub are same, but they are not actually same. Git is basically version control system. Okay, so Git initially developed by Linus Torvalds, and it's a version control system, whereas GitHub is cloud-based hosting service that lets you to manage Git repositories. Okay, so using Git we can create different repositories, so that will be managed by cloud-based hosting service, that is GitHub. Okay, whereas Git is version control system that lets you to manage and keep track of your source code history. So Git is version control system, whereas GitHub is cloud-based hosting service. And GitHub has some other services as well, like it provides bug tracking services, and wiki pages, creation of wiki pages, some hosting, some task management services. So these are some other services provided by GitHub. Let's understand like what is, I mean, how we can the basic workflow of Git and GitHub, so you can understand better. So let me open Paint so you can understand better. So let's say you are 4 team members in your team. So these are my team members. You are working in a project, and we have one admin guy, or you can say the team lead or project manager, and let's give name. This is QA engineer 1, this is QA engineer 2, this is QA engineer 3, and this is QA engineer 4. So all the team members have Git installed on their system. Okay, so they have their own local repository. So let's say this is QA1 has its own local repository, QA2 also has, this is local repository, and this has also, QA4 has also its own local repository. And this guy, now let me assign this some task as well. Let's say this is working on home page. Let's talk about e-commerce application. So this guy is working on home page, and this guy is working on registration. This one is product page, and this one is checkout, something like that we can assign. Okay, so these are some different tasks which is given by this team lead. And let's say this is team lead, and this guy has the framework access, and he has created the framework, and all the reusable methods we can access from this framework. So he has framework in his system, so he has the framework of this complete project. Okay, so what we'll do, some or the other day this guy needs code from the other team members. Okay, let's say product guy will take code from home page or registration page. Okay, so how they will share the code, because checkout will need to access all these three pages. So how to merge the code from all these different team members, how they will share their code. So we have framework is already there, so all these guys should access the framework. So how they will access, so here comes the central repository. So this is my central repository, and let's say central repository. Yeah, and this guy will access this central repository, and here he'll create the account in GitHub. So let's say our account name will be like something like ati.github.com. He has created the account and created the central repository. Now he will push his framework to this central repository. Okay, we'll discuss about different commands just after 5-10 minutes. Okay, so he'll first time he'll push the command his framework to this central repository. Now all the other team members can access this central repository, because this guy has given the permission of this central repository all to all the team members. So we can easily access from, we can pull the latest change. Okay, so this is pull command. Let me write pull over here. So these are some basic commands guide. This is, let's say this is push, commit and push. First time we have pushed the framework to central repository, and all the team members will have access of the central repository, because this guy has given the access of the central repository to all the team members. So we can easily pull the code, and now he will work on this home page, because this guy simply created the framework structure. Now the other team members have to work on their respective pages. Now once they are done with their code, whenever they will make the changes, they will easily push the code to push the changes to central repository. Okay, so this is push command. Here I should write push command. So these are basic command. Pull, get the code from central repository, that should be push and pull, and whenever we push any changes, that will be push command, using push command. So we'll discuss, I'll show you how we can work with different commands. Okay, so this is the basic architecture of Git and GitHub. Okay, and this is cloud based service, guys. So this is web based, I mean this is on web, and here we have central repository. So all the team members can easily access this central repository because this is on this is cloud based system. So what are the different terms with GitHub? So we have repository. So repository is in simple words, treat as a storage area of your workplace that contains all the documentation, files and history of changes. So repository is nothing but your storage area. Clone, what do you mean by clone? Clone is nothing but the copy of your uh, copies of a repository. So we can first time we'll clone these the main, what you can say, the main repository, central repository. So we can take easily, we can take a clone of this central repository in all these systems. Okay, commit. So whenever we make the changes, whatever the changes you make in your files will come under commit. So whenever we make the changes with using we have to use this commit command, and every change is saved under a particular name or id, which is also called revision. So that will create a change id. So I'll show you. And pushing refers to sending your committed changes to a remote repository such as github.com. So whenever this guy will make some changes, and first he will commit the code, okay, and later on he will push the code to central repository. So first will be commit and then push the changes to central repository. Pull request. So if you made changes in code script to show, let's say the other team members has uh, written some code and pushed changes to central repository. Now this has central repository has some changes. Now before this guy will start the code, I mean to make some other changes, first he will pull the code from central repository, so that he should be sync with this guy. Okay, and we have fork. So it is a copy of others repository. Branching. So when you extract a portion section of code from a main remote track of your software, so this is just a portion, or we can, branching is nothing but let's say we have different stages in our project. Okay, so first I would say, let's say we have a dev environment, development environment, then later on we have QA environment, and let's say we have production environment. So this is how we can create different branches: dev branch, Q branch, and production. And the default branch we have is master branch. Okay, and yeah, later on we can merge our code as well. So this is how we can create the different branches. Fetching refers to getting the latest changes from an online repository like github.com without merging. So this is fetch. Merge, this is merge. To merge the code we have merge command. Okay, so these are different commands in GitHub. So do not worry guys, I'll share different commands in my blog and all these notes as well. Yeah, so this is the workflow which we talked about. So this is my central repository, this is github.com, and we have all the local repository placed, all the, I mean, git installed in respective system for user A, user B, user C, and user D. So these are all local clone of repository. Okay, so they will make the changes and they will push the code to central repository. So steps to work with Git and GitHub. So if you are using Eclipse, then we don't need to install Git and GitHub, because directly we have here, I'll show you. If you go to this perspective, here we have Git already integrated with Eclipse. So the plugin is already there. You need to just work with Git and GitHub. And suppose you want to make the changes you want to work with command line, then you have to install Git. So this is the link for Windows system and this is for Mac system, and we have to create the GitHub account, and using command prompt we can easily work with Git and GitHub. So let's do one thing. Let me already I have account, so simply I'll log in into my GitHub account. 1 second. So simply search GitHub login and sign into GitHub. So if you are using first time, so let me show you here this login page. So yeah, here you can do the registration, and you can sign up GitHub. So it is free basically, and some of the features, if you really need advanced features, then you have to uh, pay some amount, okay, otherwise it's free. So let's sign in. So already I have account, so h verma 22, and this is my password. So this is my GitHub account, guys, and here I have all the repositories which I have created, and this is how you can go to your profile. You can manage your profile, and yeah, let me, yeah, so we have 6 repositories as of now, okay. And if you go to any particular repository, and from here you can give the access as well. So how to give access to some other team members? So go to settings, and you can manage your repositories from here. So manage access. So this is how you can manage your repositories. Here invite a collaborator. Here you can invite your team members to give access, and this is branches. Okay, so now let me create a new repository. So here you have option new, or from this plus sign also you can create new repository. So first of all, I'll create new repository and will push new project into this repository. So I'll give name GitHub demo. So this is my repository name, GitHub demo, and let's select public. So public is anyone can see the repository. You choose who to commit, who can commit. So anybody can access this repository. Okay, if I select public, but I can select who can commit into this repository. So that is about public. And what is private? You choose who can send, who can see and commit to this repository. So this is private. So let's select public for now, and this is not required. So simply I'll create repository. So my repository has been created. So this is the, so 1 second, if you go to here, not here, this repository. So this is the URL, this is the URL I have, okay. So what I'll do now, I'll create a new project which I'm going to push to this repository. So I'll create a new project. So you can create a Java project or Maven project. So let me create a Maven project, simple Maven project. GitHub demo, and I'll give artifact ID as GitHub demo. Click on finish. So my project is created, guys. Here you can see it will take some time, and yeah, so this pom.xml and these are folders. Simply I'll create some package over here inside src main java. So let's say com.pages I have, and inside test package test folder I'll have com.test cases. Just I'm giving some sample scenario. So here let's write one class. sorry, inside pages, let's say home page, or let's say login page first. Login page, I have one class inside this pages, and inside test cases, let me write one more class, login test, login test. So we have login page and login test. Okay, and simply I'll write one method, public void login page method, and simply I'll print something over here. This is login page. So this is simple code I have written inside login page. Similarly, let's write something over inside login test. So this would be my login test, and this is my comment, login test. Okay, so we have a couple of classes in this project. Now what I'll do, I have written scenarios which we are going to cover today. So this demo, so create a new project and add your fresh project into GitHub. Okay, so we want to add this project into GitHub. So how we can add that? Okay, because already we have created a repository in GitHub, so we want to push the changes to this GitHub demo. Okay, and another scenario which we'll see, add all the project files, will add all the project files and update the code and push the changes. Okay, so that I'll also show you. So let's have a look the first part, this one. Yeah, before that, I have to install, I forgot to install. So let me install how you can install Git on your system. So since I'm using Windows system, so I'll use this URL. So simply go to Google and just run that URL. So here, since my system is 64-bit, so I'll download this one. So already I have downloaded, guys. So I'll install it. So if you haven't downloaded, then you can download from here. If you are using Mac system, then I have given the URL here. So here I have already downloaded the git exe, and simply I'll install it. So just click on that, run. Complete process I'll post in my blog, so do not worry about that. So this is just license, so click on next, and this where you can save your git. So this is the path, click on next. So I think already I have folder, so you can click yes, and here yes as well, click next, and no need to select anything over here. So we want command line. Okay, so just select the second option. By default it is selected, so just click on next. Let it be like this. So just click next, next. Just you have to do next, next, next only. No need of any changes. So yeah, just click on install. So it will take couple of seconds, and then it will install Git on my system. So this is about Git installation. It is installing. It will take couple of seconds, and then it will install. Yeah, so this is done. I'll click next. So the Git installation is done. How to check whether Git is installed or not? So just go to your command prompt, and this is command prompt, and simply type here Git. So you'll get this. When you get installed, you'll see some of the comments over here. Some commands. Okay, so these are some common Git commands used in various situations. So these are some common Git commands. Now this is my project. So just go to the project location. So this is my project location, guys, and what I'm going to do first, for the first command is, because this is the fresh project. Okay, so I have created the project and I want to push the code to GitHub account in this GitHub repository, central repository. So how to push? So first of all, I need to go to this location, this project location. So how to go? This is my project location. So right now I'm in this project location. Now what is the next command? We have to initialize our Git repository. So what is the command? We have git init command we have. So just do that, and then here you can see initialized empty Git repository in D drive, this project path. So let me check. One .git file will be created, that is hidden file. So if you go to this project, here you can see .git file is created. Now what is the next command? Now my Git is initialized. Okay, now we have to link with this central repository. So how to link? So for that we have one command called git remote origin, and we have to copy the path of our Git repository. So this is the path of my GitHub repository, central repository. So you need to just write command git remote origin, because we want to create a link between our local project, our local repository, and GitHub repository. So simply type this. Yeah, this is the command, and so here you can see something happened. The project is initialized. I think it should be done. Git remote origin. Oh, sorry, add. I forgot. It should be git remote add and origin. This is the command, and put it your Git center repository location, and just now it is linked with this center repository. We didn't see any error. Earlier we forgot to uh, mention this add in the command. So now we have added, we have created the link between our local repository and center repository. Now there is a command called git status. So if you check that git status, you can see all this in red color. Okay, so whatever files we have, that has not been changed. Okay, that has not been committed to center repository. So what we can do, we have a command to add all these files. We have git add command, and we want to add all these files, so we'll use star. So git add star. So just click. Now just run git status again. So you'll see in red color, sorry, in green color, all these files. Okay, now these all will be added and ready to be committed. Now we'll write our commit command. So what is commit command? Git commit -m, and we'll write our comment over here. This is first commit. Okay, so git commit -m first commit. So this is my commit. So let's press enter. Please tell me who you are. So we have to give our like who is pushing the code, who is committing the code. So we have to give our credentials, not credentials. We need to talk about ourselves, like please tell who you are, who is pushing the code. So we have to provide two things, name and email. So let's provide that. So command is git config user dot name, and I'll provide the name over here, Jitendra Kumar Verma, and just press enter. So this is done, and we have to provide config user dot email. And yeah, so here you can see Unable to auto detect email address. So Hitendra, this is my email in my PC. Hitendra, if you don't set any configuration, then by default it will take as per your system Hitendra @Hitendra PC. So simply I have to write like this, Hitendra @Hitendra, like this. Click enter. So now we have set our configuration for who is pushing the code. Now again we'll write this command, git command, commit command. Okay, so if I press enter, now these all the files are committed. Here you can see in master branch, so 9 files changed. Okay, so these are the create mode, this dot class path file, every file is created now, added. If you see git status again, then it won't show anything. Okay, nothing to commit, because all the files have been changed, we have committed. But now if you refresh this repository github demo, still we don't see any changes over here, because we have not pushed our code to center repository. So how to push the code? So we have command called git push origin master. So this is git push, this is the command. Okay, git push origin master. So we have to write master every time, and sometimes it gives error, so we'll write force over here. Okay, so this is the command, guys. We have to push our changes, git push origin master and minus minus force. So let me, if you don't write this force, then probably it may give error, because earlier I have seen. So let's do that. Right now I think it is not giving any error. That's fine. I think it is done. Now let me refresh our yeah, here you can see all the changes have been done here. But why it is not asking for the repository username and password? I think we have done some configuration, because we have provided here anything. This anyways, this is fine. So we have written git push origin master. So here it will ask you to enter username and password of github account. Okay, so you have to provide the username and password, because I think I have already given the access from this configuration from my GitHub, so that's why it didn't ask for username and password. But all my code pushed to center repository now using this command git push origin master. Okay, so here you can see 100%, so everything is done. Now if yeah, this is, if you refresh here, you can see first commit, all the files have been added in my center repository. So if I go to src and pages, here you can see login page.java. If you open that, here you can see this is the code which I have pushed in center repository. Okay, so this is about how you push the first time your code. And what is next? Update any code and push the code again. So let's update something. Let's add one file over here, text file, or you can make changes here also. Let me add a file, let's say new test.txt file. We are going to add in our project new file, new text.txt. And what I'll do here, I'll write this is new txt file. This is the comment I'm adding in this text file. And I'll do in login page, I'll add one comment. This is first comment, simply I'm adding, or this is new comment I'm adding over here. Okay, so we have changed two things. We have created a new text file, new test.txt file, and we made some changes over in this login page class. Okay, so let's have a look. So git status. So using this command we can easily track what are the changes we made. So here you can see in red color, so this is modified login page, and this is, yeah, this is login page.java, and you can ignore this dot class file, anyways it will show. So this is modified class, okay, modified class file, I mean Java file. And here we have added new test txt file. So this is under include it, what will be committed, so this has to be committed. Now what we'll do, we have to add them. So git add dot, so it will add. Now again write git status. So here you can see all showing in green color. So we, we have add command, right? Git add, just put dot operator, okay. So here you can see in red color. Now we have to commit all these changes. So we have commit command here, and git commit -m, and I'll write second commit, okay. Just so now here you can see three files changed, two insertions. One is java file dot java, one is dot class, and this one is text file. Now our files have been committed. Now what I'll do, I'll simply write push command, git push origin master. We want to push the changes to our central repository, so we simply will write git push origin master. So click enter, press enter, and here you can see all the changes pushed to my central repository. Now we want to check our repository over here. Now here you can see second commit. So if I open this src and pages, so here you can see this is new commit, this is what we have added recently, right? So and if you go to, yeah, this is the text file which we have created. This is a new text file. So this is how you can write, you can work with different commands. And what is next, how to pull the code when someone make the changes. Okay, so let me, so I don't have the second system over here. So what I'll do, simply I'll add the changes in the GitHub only. So here we have an option, create new file. So I'm making changes to central repository. So let's add a github.txt. Okay, so I'm adding one file over here, github.txt, and commit new file. I'm directly committing to master branch. Okay, this master branch from GitHub itself. Commit new file. So just assume that this is one user and this is another user which made the changes. Now we want to if you see our project, refresh it, we don't see file over here. Okay, we have only new test.txt. so what we'll do here, if you see the central repository, we have added a new file called github.txt. so we have a command called git pull, and we have to write the repository. We have to provide the repository over here. Just put your repository URL and just press enter. So here you can see this is the new file which we have added from GitHub, github.txt. so if I refresh my project, that has to be added here. Here you can see github.txt. so this file has been added here. So this is how you can pull the latest changes from your GitHub repositories, from your central repository. Okay, now what is next, how to check out the particular version. Okay, how to check the particular version. So how to check that, and before that we have one command called git log. So here you can see all the versions which we have created so far. So this is the first commit, this is the second commit, and this is the third one which we have done from GitHub. And another command we have git log one line. If you write command like this, if you okay, so it will show the shorter version. Okay, so here you can see the first 5 lines here, the first I mean id. So these are all, this you can see in yellow color, these are all change id guys. Okay, revision history. So this is the id, short id. Here you can see, if you write command like git log hyphen hyphen one line. Now we want to see what we made the changes in this first commit. Okay, so how we can see that, git show, and I think we have to enter that id 3A6860C colon. Suppose we want to see the changes for this particular file, but we have not added that point of time. So in the second commit we have added, so let's write the second commit, that is 4C6234 232 and 4. So I wanted to check in the second commit, and my file name would be, my file name is new test.txt, new test.txt. So this will give you the what we have written in this file. Okay, so git show, this is the change id, the second commit, and colon new test.txt. So this will show you what we have written over here. But before that, let me add one comment over here. So this is another comment, or this is new comment. Okay, this is new comment. Let me if you and save it, git status. So we have one modified file, so simply I'll do commit, and I'll give like new changes commit to file, new changes to commit file, and that is the commit which we have given. Oh, sorry, we have to add first git add dot. So that is done. Now we'll make the commit, that is done. Now we have to push our code, git push origin master. So this should be done. Yeah, it is done. Okay, and now let's see the log, git log. So we have 4 changes. Okay, this is the first commit, second commit, github.text, and recently we have new changes to file. We have added a new line in this file, that has been done. So if you see the shorter version, git log one line, so you can see like this. Okay, now we want to see the changes in this version and this version. Okay, so how to see that, git show 4C62324 and colon new test.txt. So here you can see this is new text file which we have written in the second commit. Okay, now we want to see this one, the latest one. So simply write git show, you can simply copy this as well, so like this, git show, one second, why it is not copied, let me manually write 894 6503 and colon new test dot txt. So if you see, this is the first commit guys which we made, new test on this version 4c. This one second commit, we have added only one line, this is new text file, and in the latest change we have added one more line, this is new comment. Now I want this version. Okay, currently we have couple of lines. Okay, these two lines. Now I want this version to check out. Okay, I want this version. So how to do that? Okay, so we have a command called git check out, and I'll put this id. What is the id? We have 4c 6234 62324 and new test dot txt. Simply you have to write like this, git checkout, and this is the version. I want this version, the previous version, second commit version, and this is the file name. I want this file name to be changed to previous version. So press enter. So updated one path from this one. So that is done. So if you check git status, so this is modified. Now what I'll do, simply we have to commit that, and simply I'll write here revert the changes. So that changes has been done. Now we have to simply commit. Yeah, git push origin master. So just run that command, git push origin master. Now if you open that file, that has been changed now. So here you can see that one line has gone. So we got the previous version. So if you see in GitHub repository, that should be changed now, new test.txt. So here you can see only one line. So this is how you can check out your previous version as well. Now how to work with existing repository or clone a existing repository. Okay, so how to do that? So let's say, suppose I want to I'm working, the new team member has joined the project, and I want to clone this project. Okay, this project. So how to clone this repository? So let's say I have this path, and here I'll create one folder, new project. Okay, I want to clone this repository over here. I want to copy this entire repository in my local drive. Okay, so how to do that? So just copy this path and go to your command prompt, and simply first you need to navigate to your path, that is C drive. So we have to go to C drive, and simply you'll write like this. Now we are into this path. Okay, so simply we have command called git clone, and what is the path we have of git repository? This is the path. So simply put the path over here and press enter. So it is cloning. Cloning means taking the copy of your GitHub repository into your local path. So if you see this new project now, here you can see all the files have been copied here. So this is how you can take the clone. So clone is nothing but taking the copy from existing repository. Okay, so this is we have discussed, guys. So this is the workflow. Here you can see the basic commands are commit the changes, push committed changes to push central repository. If you want the latest codes, then you will use pull command. Okay, so this is done for today, and in the next video I'll talk about how we can work with Git and GitHub using Eclipse, the integration with Eclipse. Okay, So thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.